everyone! Welcome to video guide for simple, compound, and complex sentences. So our learning objective is to be able to use a variety of sentence structures for impact. And that means just 3 simple kinds of sentences. So the 3 simple sentence types I've mentioned are called simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Now you don't really even need to remember the names of these 3 types of sentences. You just need to be able to show that you can use them and that you can use them for effect, which we're going to be coming up at the end of the video. We're going to start with simple sentences. So it's nice and simple. They live up to their name completely. It has one subject and one predicate. All simple sentences all really need to do is contain one piece of information, which means that they have to make sense on their own. English teachers often refer to this as clauses, but then again, you don't really need to remember that word. You just have to remember that they contain one piece of information that makes sense on their own. Now let's look at the example of simple sentence. She changed the light bulb. Full stop. Capital letter makes perfect sense on their own. Now let's go to the second example. She didn't like fixing things. Again, makes perfect sense on their own. It doesn't matter if it's more than one thing in the end, just the fact that it makes perfect sense and is one piece of information be given to you. So, as you can see, simple sentences really are very, very simple, and that's all there is to it, so everybody can do it. What we're going to look at now is how we're going to make it a compound sentence, so a little bit more challenging, but again, not too tricky. You just have to remember that with a compound sentence, what you're doing is getting 2 simple sentences and then joining them together with a conjunction. And when we say conjunction, we mean words like and, so, but, if, when. I'm sure there are plenty of other conjunctions that you can think of, and those are just a few examples for you. So let's take those 2 sentences that we had with simple sentence. Now if we're going to make this into a compound sentence, all we've done is added our conjunction in there. So we've added the word but. So the sentence now reads, she changed the light bulb, but she didn't like fixing things. It makes perfect sense. 2 simple sentences joined together with the word but or a conjunction. And you could put any conjunction in there. Now moving on to complex sentence. Don't worry, they're not nearly as hard as they sound. They make it sound so tricky. A complex sentence begins with a conjunction, and they have 2 separate ideas like a compound sentence. Okay, but they're separated with a comma, and that's because you've put the conjunction at the beginning. So let's have a look at a little example of that. What I'm going to give you first is these 2 simple sentences. She was a great English teacher. Full stop. She couldn't change a light bulb safely. Full stop. So those sentences at the moment look like they've got nothing to do with each other because they're just 2 separate simple sentences. What we're going to do is change them up so they are joined together in a complex sentence, and you'll see what this looks like. Now, although she was a great English teacher, she couldn't change a light bulb safely. Now, can you see the difference there? We've linked those 2 sentences, haven't we? They make sense together. And if you look, first of all, we put although at the beginning, so we began with a conjunction, and then we put comma in there to separate the 2 clauses or 2 parts of the sentences or the 2 different bits of information. So now they make sense and have a really different effect than they did when they were 2 simple sentences. And that's what you really need to do for complex sentence. It could be any conjunction at the beginning. We could have switched those parts around as well.
Created using Powtoon.